Have you ever dreamed of owning your own piece of land? Your own little slice of the American dream? Well, listen up, because 2026 might just be your golden opportunity. There's a huge shift happening in the real estate market, and we're about to give you the inside track on how to navigate it and find that perfect property.
So here's our game plan. We're going to look at why this is all happening right now. Then we'll get into the good stuff, the allure of cheap land. Of course, we have to talk about the risks you just can't ignore. Then I'll show you exactly where to look with some foreclosure hotspot states. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a smart buying strategy to get you started. Ready? Let's dive in. So what's kicking this whole thing off? Well, it all comes down to this one number, 32%. That's the year-over-year jump in foreclosure filings as of January 2026. And this isn't just a blip on the radar. No, this is the 11th straight month we've seen this kind of increase. It's a major market shift. Now, I know a number like that can sound a little scary, but for anyone who's looking to buy land, it's actually a huge green light. See, more distressed properties hitting the market simply means more chances for you to find an absolutely fantastic deal on your dream property. Okay, let's get into our first section, a shifting landscape, and really unpack that big question, why is this all happening right now? Well, it's basically a perfect storm of economic pressures. You've got higher interest rates, which makes borrowing money way more expensive. On top of that, property taxes and insurance costs are climbing. And honestly, we're still feeling the financial aftershocks from the pandemic. For some landowners, it's just become too much to keep up with. All right, now for the fun part. Section 2, the allure of cheap land. Because with every challenge, there's always an opportunity, right? So let's flip the script a bit and explore the really exciting upsides of jumping into the foreclosure land market. This is where it gets good. The biggest draw? The price, obviously. You can often get these properties for just a fraction of what they'd normally cost. But it doesn't stop there. With raw land, you have total freedom. There are no tenants to deal with, no old buildings to repair, just pure, raw potential. Whether you're picturing a quiet cabin in the woods or an off-grid setup in the desert, you can find it. But hold on, before you run off and drain your bank account at the nearest auction, let's pump the brakes. It's time for Section 3, risks you can't ignore. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme, so we need a serious reality check about the challenges involved. So these are the big ones you have to watch out for. Title issues, things like old liens or back taxes, can be an absolute nightmare. So you always need to do your homework there. The whole auction process can move incredibly fast, which doesn't give you much time for research. And you have to remember, you're not the only one looking for a deal. The competition can be pretty fierce. Okay, so you know the risks. Let's talk about where to actually start looking. That brings us to Section 4, foreclosure hotspot states. Because right now, some states are just prime hunting grounds for these kinds of deals. Here's where all the action is. Delaware, Nevada, and Florida are the top 3 hotspots right now. But you definitely don't want to sleep on bigger states like Texas and California. They are seeing a huge number of these properties come on the market too. Think of this as your treasure map for finding the best bargains out there. All right, you know the why, the what, and the where. Now we're at the most important part. Section 5, your smart buying strategy. This is your personal playbook for making this work. Here's your 4-step plan. Number 1, you have to be relentless with your research. I'm talking constantly checking county websites and auction sites so you're the first to know when something pops up. 2, think outside the box. The really great deals are often in these overlooked rural spots, not the super high demand areas. 3, broaden your search. Don't just look at bank foreclosures. Check out things like tax lien sales. That's where you can actually buy the county's claim on a property for unpaid taxes. They can be hidden gems. And 4, get creative with your financing. Owner financing can be a total game changer, letting you skip the banks altogether. Look, if that high-stakes competitive world of auctions just isn't your thing, there's another path you can take, and it's often a lot safer, buying directly from an owner. You might not find that once-in-a-lifetime rock-bottom price, but what you will get is a much simpler process, clearer terms, and the peace of mind of a guaranteed title. It's really about finding the right balance of risk and reward for you. So, what's the bottom line here? 2026 is a year of both major challenges and incredible opportunities. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but for the informed, strategic buyer, well, it's a golden window to build real, lasting wealth through land. And that's what we want to leave you with. Now that you know about the shifting market, the risks, and the amazing potential rewards, is 2026 going to be the year you finally claim your piece of the dream?